Right, hello everybody and welcome back to Planet Zoo career mode, not career mode, the other one, franchise mode. And in the last episode, which was quite a while ago now, we looked at we brought some African painted dogs into our zoo. And there has been an update to the game, so sandbox mode gets loads of features. Basically, you can stop animals dying and turn that sort of stuff off, and stuff like that. Loads and loads of different features. Head over to the Planet Zoo website or head over to the Steam sort of community pages, and you'll be able to see all the fixes that have sort of come into the game. That hopefully plan on sort of maybe not optimising it, but making it look a little bit better than it, making it play a little bit better than it currently does. So in the last episode of our franchise mode, we bought in. Oh, hello. Oh, there we go, it's both working now, that's okay. We bought in African painted dogs. Now, we have since had little babies, which is important, especially that gold one, that can be quite useful. Because we are low on conservation credits. That's the one thing we're sort of struggling with. And there are animals fighting for alpha status, which is fine for now. Their feed is so expensive. Who knew that was coming? Right, but there are 7 animals in here, and I'm assuming they always fight for alpha status. But if you're ever unsure, the beauty of African painted dogs and the beauty of this game is you can hit Zoopedia, and it normally works, and then you can find out a little bit more about them. So there they are. So up to 9 males and up to 9 females, so they're always going to fight for alpha systems, that's not a problem. So there's no real issue there, you can mix them. Only the alpha male and alpha female reproduce, the two are monogamously bonded and will have a litter of pups each year. Subordinate dogs do not have pups, but they do help raise the pups of the alpha pair, and it's thought that to prevent the pack from becoming too large for each dog to get enough food. That's clever, isn't it? So only the alphas actually do it. So when I was concerned in selling animals because they weren't, I thought they were beta animals from the beta of this game, they weren't, they were just because they were beta animals. So yeah, so Hastani will not mate, so in a weird way it's nearly pointless having her. Hashim will, Abakanil, I don't know what her name is, Abakanil, I'll do. Ajani won't mate either. So only, yeah, so it'd be interesting, maybe we look at sort of trying to sell a few animals. Now I don't know whether, here we go, there's actual, so before we were having an issue, there weren't actually any animals for money, which was a big problem because we really needed animals, we really needed animals is the genuine answer, and there weren't any animals for money. But now, clearly, that's changed somewhat. Oh, I did press for that. Okay. Let's have a look at the most expensive animals, though. So we can buy... Oh, good. Oh, thank God for that. We can actually buy animals for cash, which is really important because we haven't got a lot of conservation credits, and eventually they'll mate, and eventually everything will be happy. So in today's episode, what we're going to do is we started off, we built this little sort of entrance building. It's nothing special. It's just it's really a placeholder until we get some more cash. And over here is where all of our sort of, sort of buildings are for stuff, and we will end up doing this stone up a little bit as well. But yeah, I really like our painted dogs. Maybe we could build a bit more of a rockery up here. But yeah, no, it's an absolute awesome exhibit habitat. So I'm really happy with how that looks, and how the shelter that we've got as well. But today we are going to build, I think, a little tortoise habitat here. I think it'll really cover up these buildings. So if we can build a giant tortoise habitat, and then again, it's got a direct link to a station there as well. Which I think would be really beneficial. There are other animals we could stick in there actually as well. In fact, it might be worth having a look through the animal market and seeing what we've got. We'll put them in order. Oh, we got some vet research done. That's nice. African wild dog, juicy. Juicy. Goosey. We were looking. Let's remove animal trading. Right. Let's have a look. The issue is these are just like massive lists now, so, and we've only got cash buys on, so that's fine. Don't mind only having cash buys on. So the Aldabra giant tortoise. There's only one at the minute, so it might be worth it. We've got the Baird's tapir. The bongo, I haven't seen a bongo yet, or a Chinese what's that? Chinese pangolin. That's cool, isn't it? These animals are all quite cheap actually, which is good news. So it means we can definitely get a couple in. Just trying to find an animal that doesn't require too much. Should we... I'm trying to press next, it isn't working. There we go, that's better. So we've got flamingos, we could definitely get some flamingos in. Right, let's... Really... Okay, so let's do what our plan... You hear that guy singing in my background. So we've got Timberwolves, spotted hyenas, red pandas, they're cute. Okapi. We could put a Nile monitor in there, I suppose. Don't know how popular they are. I think they breed though, so the benefit of the Nile monitors is we could get some decent amount of. We could do a Komodo dragon. That'd be sick as well, wouldn't it? The filter's not working. Oh, there we go. Just took a few bashes of the button. So maybe we get a couple of Komodo dragons. Oh wow, you are really shit. And you're not much better either. They only live in pairs, I think. This is the only issue, is like how slow this whole system is. Actually selecting options. Let's adopt that one because it's got at least fertility. No, we're going to have to and hope that it... Oh, I can tell you, this is actually shocking when this... So that one, no problem. That one, can't adopt. Trying my best and it's not letting me adopt it. That's pretty shocking. Yeah, so these ones are pretty poor, really. That one, that Komodo is okay, I suppose, but this one is just not got any immunity. It's actually a really bad Komodo dragon. It's not even worth sort of spending money in the game with. Right, so let's just build a little place here. Mate, I think the Nile monitors need a bit of space though, is my understanding. So maybe we can do something here, or even in the middle here, and have the Nile monitors sort of in the central sort of hub here. I mean, that could be a cool idea. I don't know whether this will be too small. Might well be. I'm not sure. Let's find out. What's going on here? What's obstructing it? Is it the corn? We can just end up shaping it around here, and we'll move it all in a minute anyway. Right, so edit Marion's fine. probably end up not walling this anyway and using our own. Turtles take a long time to sort of procreate as well, so there might not be a great thing to put in here. But this at least has a bit of personality, perhaps, as a little small, small sort of little habitat. I hope I can put something in there that's like sort of semi-useful. I'm not sure. Hopefully we can. The issue with things like tortoises and stuff like that is that they do tend to require a bit of space, but who knows? I probably could check, to be fair, but I haven't thought that much through. I think this will be too small, but we can work with it. We'll see what happens. In fact, the best thing probably to do at this point will be to have a check and see what they actually require. So if we go, look how many Komodos are and stuff on there. So I think Komodos actually need a mental amount of space. Komodo dragons. I think I was watching someone else's video, and they just require an unnecessarily large 600 squared meters. I think that's a lot. I don't know. I assume that is massive. Bear in mind, a guina grana doesn't really matter. And bearing in mind a common warthog requires half that. It says something really. Chinese pangolin. Be a shame. This is quite a small exhibit. What else do we get? No monitor lizard. Oh yeah, that monitors might be alright in here. Then also might not be. 300 square meters is still quite a lot. Let's have a look. So we're just moving straight in. We know that we need them in there. So let's just speed them up, make them come in quick. I just want to see what I need to do in here. It might not be enough space either. Yeah, so this is like a massively small sort of section, but can be fixed. So we're going to pause the game. Let's just get the pathing, and we're just going to change the pathing up somewhat. And yeah, just give it a little bit more. And then what we'll do with this, edit barrier, and we'll move it. Because that would be too long, so we just need to bring that up. should be better space for them. It just about is. And then they need some water, which we can use this for. I wasn't going to, but I'm going to now. So go to rain, go water, and something's in there. Push. It's obstructing the water. Is it the actual lizard? Because it needs to move the fuck away. They're going to be unhappy, and that's fine. I think it is. I don't know. How's the lizard? So their land has dropped, and their water is not enough. So this is actually not good. There's so many people gathering here as well. I like the idea of having an animal here, but obviously these monitor lizards aren't there. So just to be sure, data deficient. So up to 2 males, 2 females, but they're only like a size of 3. So that's so wicked. Who knew that was a thing? Right, so these guys require, if we click on them and click their terrain, they require 325 meters squared, and they don't have that, and they don't have the water they need either. So because they don't have that, they're not overly happy. Yeah, because the space is insufficient. We could live with it here, to be fair, but as more come in, it'd be more of a problem. Oh, we claimed an award because we adopted. Nice. I'll take free money. So we need to probably make a change because like space-wise, 325 is just not good enough. So if we head to here, our Tortoise requires 230, so this will probably be ideal for it. And then the other one is the Galapagos, which is again the same. So these guys, I'm afraid, are going to be moving straight to the training zone. We will utilise them, I'm sure, but yeah, it is just a shame that we don't need them. And instead of a Komodo and an R monitor, we're going to require either a Galapagos giant tortoise or an Albahar when the actual animal market wants to filter them for me. So we have some pretty good ones here. That is a good fertile gene, but its longevity gene is probably going to die tomorrow, so it's probably pointless. Yeah, we'll take that one. Its immunity isn't good, but it's quite young and it is fertile. Take that one. And I suppose we'll take that one and hope that it mates with one of them. And then if we grab you, it wants me to move. Can't. This is what I get frustrated about with the is that you can't actually click anything. As in here, say hello, you get 20 points for that. I'm going to say hello to anyone that walks in the zoo. Oh god, call a mechanic, quick. Do we have a mechanic? I think we do. We do have a mechanic. He's quite busy. What's this person doing? Weird. Okay, either way we're distracted. So now we need to try and bring these animals in, but it wasn't moving them. There we go. So they should say location Rains Canada, which it is. 2. There we go, nice. We will build something nice around here. So a couple of things we don't need now is we don't need the water. We can probably flatten that to the foundation again. And then what we'll do, we'll pause before that. And then what we can do here is aim to build a little bit of a rockery. But let's get what we need to get from them first. So right now, habitat, no hard shelter, but we're going to build that now anyway. Terrain is pretty good, we just need to put a little less long grass in it. And bring in some more short grass. It's fine. They like sand, and we'll put sand in this section here. Clean that. On the inside. So in nature, we want to put some rocks down. Now these guys are tropical, so we want to make sure we get our tropical rocks on. We don't need anything that big. So, and what we want to do, trying to get this cladding in early. So if we go and all we're doing now is just sort of like rock. Right, now these guys, oh, that one's well small. I guess that's a female. Oh, that's a male. The female's just massive. That's such a ridiculous difference. So they are really happy with the area they've got, which I'm really pleased with. So that's not a problem. And the hard shelter's growing. I'll grow that a bit more in a minute. But what we do need for our Galapagos, and we can just type it in. Like that. So we have got a dog ball. They like dog balls. That will help them with their enrichment somewhat. And they like sprinkles actually as well. We will put some. And then we will get some extra large. Oh, not extra large, but maybe. Some rain in again. What we were going to do is flatten the surface of this a little bit. No, push. And smooth. Yeah, I'm still pretty happy. The sand's all gone, so we need to put the sand back in. that's fine. So we've redone that, so that's good. Their navigational area is a little bit less, but that's fine. They don't need necessarily like a lot of plants, but we can put some in the area. We've won something else, which is good. So the number of guests has gone up. The one thing we do need to definitely do before we lose any more money anyway is put in a couple of these. So they are going right around here, which is cool, and I quite like the fact that they're doing that. So we'll plonk a bin there. Actually, we should see whether or not they've stopped and gathered. We can plonk a bin there as well, I suppose. There seems to be two pretty key places where they're plonking bins. Yeah, anyway, we can continue building this, so that's fine. We'll put something in there. I don't know what the hard shelter rating is now. It might have gone up. That's really bad actually. That's obviously not as much hard shelter as it looks, and it might be. Oh, my camera's stuck. Might be because of this gap here. Does it make a difference? No, it genuinely hasn't. I thought this would actually. I don't know whether that's given them a bit more hard shell. It has. It's not perfect. They're really happy though. 90% is pretty strong. Hard shell is their big bugbear, and they don't have any food trays, so we should probably solve that problem. So first thing we need is a water pipe. Let's read the hard shell. There we go, right, hungry and incubating. They've not got food. Oh, to be fair, they've not got a lot of food trays. Maybe we should get another one over here. But we should definitely call the vet. So I think they've all got it actually, this disease, whatever it is. Yeah, they have. Which isn't ideal, especially when you've got one vet. So we might need to hire a second vet and pause, and then that second vet literally conducts vet research. Might be our best bet, just because we're in a bit of a pickle here. So Marissa Stewart, no, just get the other one on the disease. automatically. I don't know. Either way, doesn't really matter. So our they have so our tortoises are pretty hard. The barrier status isn't great, but that's okay. And we were going to change some of this anyway. Just because I'm not a massive fan of the wooden. So what we're going to do is we're going to, for now, change it all to glass. That's okay, yeah. So when you walk in now, you get to see a lovely sort of glass habitat. What I might do is actually put a small like brick wall going around it, just a small sort of like wall, stone wall, much like this, just to sort of match it, to give it that sort of thing. But the moment glass looks okay. We get away with it. I'll change this here because this won't be glass actually. Just for now. We will again change them. It might just be a rockery that stops people looking over, but we'll just change it all to that's semi-acceptable, I suppose, at the minute. Although they're not overly happy with the amount of space they've got to chill. So I don't know whether or not we can. I don't want to add any of this stuff. We don't need that. Thinking. What if we decided we could? I need to foliage this up. So they only like. Oh, their welfare's low. Temperature. So we need to actually increase the temperature. If you go to their actual thing, 14 to 40 degrees, we're at 8, so it has to be 14 to 40. So we need to make sure we put heaters in for when it's cold here. So heat number 1, I suppose, and that covers most of the. I suppose. 25, just get to 30. They'll be happier nonetheless anyway. So that's that done. I love the rain dropping off the edge of the rocks, that's pretty cool. So what we wanted to make sure we had decent foliage for them, really, to be fair. Oh, nice new world theme. Cool. I forgot that the mechanic does that. It was underpriced, cool. Let's raise them to a $5, I suppose. Any money we can get early stage is pretty good just to keep your zoo alive, so we'll take that. So tropical South Central America, that's all they like. So if we go here and go continent south, tropical, and so that's cool. So here we can definitely have some coconut palms. Kapok tree, which is unnecessarily large, and then we've got wimber trees, which are, again, they're massive. There's no need for a tree to be that large. Oh my god, this is the only tree we've got. Oh, that's so frustrating. Is there nothing? I've got a cool bush. I've not seen this bush before. Nice, it's taken up a lot of our coverage, but I like it at the back there with the rest of it. So those two things have taken up a lot of our foliage. Putting these things in. Yeah, so how happy are they? They're pretty happy. Plants wise, we've still got quite a bit of space actually to put a few more bits and pieces in. Oh, it's snowing now, that's typical, isn't it? Good old Canada. If we grab just a 2 selection there, duplicate it. It's a bit rude, doesn't it? It's a bit of personality surrounding our side, and then we can build our own sort of thing around the edge, making it look all nice and pretty. But it's sort of a nice sort of area, so we'll take that. We'll also grab an information board. They're quite important. A bit of a queue. Just the that one. I was quite happy with that. When we end up building our wall, we'll makeshift it in, and because the thing is, you can grab like little pieces like this. These are great, and you can sort of grab pieces like it and put these actually fit in here perfectly into those. It's a bit difficult there because you've got the long bit of wall there to try and contend with, but you could do something with it which is really neat and make it look like a TV frame. But yeah, it looks like they're happy. They're hungry. There's not a lot I can do about that. That's up to them. They don't like snow. Again, they won't be happy when it snows. They live years, these things. But on the whole, I'm pretty happy with how they've turned out. The heating is stopping some of the snow, not all of it. So we should probably move this one. It's probably here. Yeah, maybe a little bit better. So I like that square of grass. Good luck graphics card doing his job. Yeah, so it is getting a bit cold here. These two, the dogs will keep warm. They'll stay in the warmth when it snows. They're not overly happy. Terrain. What's wrong with terrain? Oh, they haven't got enough space now. That's okay, actually, because we can sort of accidentally manage it. So this water here is a moat. So if we pause, there was no dog swimming, was there? No. So if we pause, we can get the water. We can grab the terrain. I don't want them to jump. I don't think they can. But and what we can do is flatten the foundation. Should give him should give some nice space in it. Might give them more space. If I don't know. Yeah, they're a lot happier. Well, they're not a lot happier, but it's better. Space is 97 now, even though navigational area is not as good. But that's okay. We'll take that win. Nutrition's the biggest issue. The last drink cleanliness is really poor. Is this water not being treated then? Yeah, it seems pretty good. I don't know what's wrong with their water. It's obviously problematic. We've got a guest. Always say hello to guests. Hi, how you doing? You give me money. Thank you. That's win-win. So we've managed to have this lovely little bit here. I quite, it's only a small little habitat for some Galapagos tortoise. Oh, he's still hungry. I don't even know why. His nourishment's 88. It's not hungry. Look, animal is not hungry. It specifically says that, Frontier. You can see, animal is not hungry. Hungry. What a stupid game. Hungry? Animal is not hungry. God. Nourishment. Animal is not hungry. It's still early days. You can sort of semi-forgive them, I suppose. Look, and these. Nourishment 100% to be fair. Is that it? As soon as they're like not 100%, is it? So, the other issue. To be fair, again, I will say to be fair a lot. You'll hear that. I guarantee we don't have. Yeah. To be fair, I don't even have a member of staff working the painted dogs section. So, yeah, that's pretty pointless. So you're going to be doing painted dogs, so we'll move that one. But the chances are that we haven't got. We need a keeper. I need a keeper. You're going to be working a brand new work zone, which is this, this, and this. And it's going to be called Galapagos. That's not how you spell it. Tortoise? Yeah. Work zone. And there we go. So there we have it. Now this guy, who is a new guy, first job's going to go in there. He's going to feed these guys up. Got a long way to walk, but that's pretty cool now that we've done that. Animals will fight for alpha status. We know this, they will. But they get quite a bit of money in, so 2,000 in that pot there, that's quite nice. And 5,000 in that pot there. Now to increase the zoo, we do need to increase conservation, so we do need to send things back. We don't just want to sell them, they need to go into the wild as well. And the education needs to increase as well. And right now we've got one screen here for the dogs and one screen for the tortoise. So educational speakers are a must. So let's put an educational speaker. They are gathering a lot over here, but I guess it's where the tortoise is. So we can stick that there. Oh, it's not at all wrong with it. We could do with. We'll move this bad boy just in there. You can hide them in bins. I don't see a problem with hiding them in the bin. I think. All of a sudden, education should increase, just slightly. We need to add one along here as well. So facilities again. Oh, they've actually got speakers. Are they working? Apparently they are. Don't know. Doesn't seem like they're working, does it? Power does reach them, so I don't reach these, but they seem to work. Okay, I'm not going to complain. I think it's maybe because the habitat door. I didn't even know the habitat door was in there, really, to be fair. So yeah, this is kind of cool. So we've managed to build a nice little tortoise exhibit to accompany there, and really we should probably crack on with doing some more work on stalls, because the information booth is really popular, which makes complete sense, I suppose. People buying umbrellas during all this rain that we were getting, but the guests at 333, that's not too bad either as well. But we would like for some more animals, and we haven't had a birth in the zoo for quite a while now. So we could do with a couple here just to increase our community points. Now, what to do? What we could do, I'm sort of tempted to looking at improving this building somewhat, and maybe adding sort of a food court here, sort of thing. So bringing this path maybe directly off We could end up building sort of like a sort of food court sort of area here, I suppose. But what we want to do is get some more facilities down, so guest facilities in particular. And a chief beef is my thought exactly. So my thought was probably do a meter decking here. So if we get a meter decking and we're getting built on a slight elevation, on sort of stone wooden cabin sort of thing. And we don't have a lot of choice right now, but we will get there. We should have some glass now, and we do have this style wood here, which is pretty cool. We should probably go to walls. And yeah, and we do have this wood as well, which is again really nice. So we could utilise the stone that we've already utilised in some of the building, in one of the buildings, in this sort of breeze block one. But what we can do. Yeah, we will end up getting rid of that. Well, we can't get rid of it, but you know what I mean. We'll end up moving it, sort of thing. So I was thinking that we get this sort of breeze block here, and then we complement it with this wood here. And then we utilize, like we use that sort of layout here, because I think that looks quite nice, and that sort of combination, I suppose. Facilities, can we get a chief beef in there? It's closed because there's nowhere for it to go. It's a shame the building's still massive, isn't it? But I do want the path at that level, so I suppose it's still pretty important that it's there. Paths. What we can do, turn off the round and elevated here and here and here. I've got a few of you guys. Say hi to Thorn Games. Hi Thorn Games, nice to meet you. Thank you very much for coming and joining us on this adventure. Construction. we can just go all fence maybe? What fences have we got? Default fence. We've got a New World fence. I quite like that, that's quite nice. We can put that there for now as a temporary, I quite like it. I didn't want to do that at all, that did not work. And then can we go like that, get rid of the fence, we don't need fence there. And we can put in, or I will put in another, it's going to be a Golfy soda. Nice bit of piece of that, we'll duplicate that, bring that across here, put it in, shore it out with the wall position now. Is what it is though. Yeah, they're clutching in probably like that. We could put something here to make it look a little bit more acceptable. No, no. Allergy. Quite like that actually. And if you grab that, we can do this. Just move that up slightly. Get again, do that. Cool. So we've got some more mechanic research. He's probably fully researched that, nearly. So New World thing we've nearly fully researched. We'll go on to probably barriers, then habitats, or one or the other first, and then we'll maybe hit classic. We want to get more food shops and stuff, so we will end up doing that as well at some point. And we did the vet research as well, so that disease is fully studied, so we can take her off and get her studying the get her studying the giant tortoise probably. That's probably the best thing. So here we just need to find a suitable sort of roofing piece for it. I do like this sort of open sort of fence plan area. It does look quite nice. It's quite a modern building actually. Again, we've added a bit of variety and shape to it. It's not dead square. It is here, but around the back it isn't. Maybe we'll look at trying to edit the shape a little bit more. I do quite like this piece. It's quite lush, isn't it? But yeah, let's go roofs, and we'll have a look and see what we've got in terms of a roof, what we can work with. There are these glass roofs which are obviously over here. Yeah, I want to use them for other things, maybe a little later on. There are some really good pieces here which look really nice. We've got metal clad roofs which I don't really want to use. So a plank, plaster, vertical wooden plank. I guess this is quite a nice piece. I'll add it to this building here maybe. size. Maybe a 1. Change the grade height. Don't know whether we can move them. Move that wall, don't need it there. I'll change that to a fence. So that's awesome. So I quite like that we've got that now. We've got a nice little sort of fence here. Maybe the logs are a bit extreme, but they do cover up that little fence gap quite nicely. What I will do, because I've just noticed that someone is leaving, not in a food profit yet, which I'm quite surprised by, but we'll worry about that in a minute. What we want to do is hire another vendor, because that vendor will take over and work at the chief beef. There you go, nice. It keeps your guests in the zoo, I suppose, for a little longer, and it means they spend a bit more money. Although the chief beef guy isn't really that busy now at all. Now what we want to do is pillars. Okay. Oh, poor animals must die of old age. I don't really know how to do that roof. We could shape it that way, and then maybe quite like the idea of doing that. Maybe with a 1, everything else has been quite well roofed, and we can always end up decorating it or something along those lines. So those pieces in. Gelo Fodolo. Oh yeah, you can't do that. I'm pretty pleased with that. We can always, hopefully, maybe stick a staff room around the corner here. This tree is massively impeding with the building now, so it's there. But it's a different little building, and what we can do, even along here, I really like these. These are sort of a great. These are better than they look. So that's all I'm going to say. I think they are brilliant. Right? So what you can do with these is they're not just a pretty face. Let's just say. They actually look stunning on the edge of buildings. It just adds something to the building, but also you have this. You actually win because you'll naturally increase. The education in the park. So yeah, they're cool little things to just stick on the edge of buildings. Even though they have an inside, you can't actually see it through there. Look. So it's quite successfully well hidden, and they can just go on the side of buildings, and they look natural, like they're supposed to be there, which is pretty cool, really. To be fair, it's not something you'd expect, like sort of a detail in terms of detailing a game. It's pretty clever. Let's see whether or not we can get any sort of nice. I don't know what buildings we have on this New World one. Okay, that's not too bad, I suppose. It will reach into the log. That is massive. Something inside so strong. Oh, no. A little bit of personality. Let's just put canopy up. Looks more than acceptable. It's a cute little building, it'll do. I like the staircase actually. The staircase is quite a nice touch. Always helps. This has got damaged barriers, we'll call it kayak. High amounts of litter. So for some reason, I'll probably be for bins actually. I've not got any bins in my zoo, so we could probably add a few bins. Because that's pretty amateur that we've not put a bin down. It's facilities. I love that bench. That bench is lush. And then what we can do here is go paths, align to a grid, you. Why it's deciding to do that. Probably like to make that bigger, but I don't really know how to. Maybe I need to revisit this whole area. Grab the path maybe. Maybe it's the terrain. Sculpting flattened. Go to 100%. I'm fully aware that I was just touching it. That's fine. That at least may help my path. That's good. So we'll grab that bin, put you there, grab that bin, move you there. We'll get facilities. Stop you. Where's the we need a canopy for these now. These have got canopies, but no umbrellas. I have just noticed. Are they meant to be like that? I suppose. I mean, that looks quite nice. They don't look exactly where they're meant to be, but you know, it is quite a nice sort of setup, I suppose. Let's just shoot the Okay, move. Doing it. It's adding the groups, doesn't it? Okay, can we go construction, go all, go fence, get this fence because we put it on there, that, again just, we don't want any of that. Like that, love that a lot. And you can grab these two together, to be fair, and we can just do that. I don't mind that too much. It's not perfect. It's not looking amazing. We can always revisit and make our own fence eventually. But having the idea that this is sort of fenced off and that you're not sort of allowed to go on the glass or anything like that. It's sort of a nice idea, I think. It's fine. Just doesn't look perfect, and again there is a little overlapping on the wood, but it's not awful. It wouldn't in an ideal world be dead perfect or straight, and we'll probably end up building our own fence anyway. But at the moment it looks semi-nice, and look, guys are sitting around eating or drinking or whatever they're meant to be doing, and that's pretty cool, so I'm pretty happy with that. We've got some more vet research complete, which is good, and that'll be our giant turtles. They're going to tortoises, they're nearly done now, to be fair. She colors we do have lizard. We do have one waiting. We do have Flying Kooky. Hi Flying Kooky, welcome to my zoo. Mechanic research, so New World theme is completely done, so well done to you. You can start doing, let's do habitat actually. And we have got a high, we made money on food profits, which is good because we just did our food little area out, which is quite nice. And from here it actually looks pretty neato now. When you walk into the zoo, you have got this nice sort of food building here. It's not as big as I'd like it probably a bit grander, even with the two buildings still, but I say we have to be careful with money, that is going pretty fast. We have got this nice sort of feeding area here, just where people can just go and chill and eat near the entrance of the zoo. You do have that in some zoos, just nice at the entrance. Did realise the information store has also got no vendor, so we might need another vendor just to compensate. We're doing well on donations, so that donation box is doing very well. This one not so much, but that's okay, I suppose. And the painted dogs are doing awesome. And one of our tortoises is expecting, which is cute, so that's good news. That'll just mean that we can get, because we have paid money for these, but I believe anything that's born in the zoo will come under leaf bucks, I assume, or conservation credits. So that's pretty good. So we got quite a bit done in today's episode. We managed to sort out this tortoise habitat. It looks really nice. They're not overly happy with the space, or the hard shelter actually space they're really happy with. Hard shelter they're not. Maybe we could actually bring that right across and do something a bit special in the next episode. And again, they're not overly pleased with. In fact, what we could do, just to finish the episode, I always do this, I get right towards the end of an episode, and then I'm like, oh, let's add this right at the end, and we can just put sport, and that'll make them really happy. And then food enrichment, I don't think it's still food enrichment, item, but oh well, they'll probably... Was it food entry? No, it wasn't. But yeah, that's cool. I'm pretty happy with that. The tortoise is about to, one of the tortoises is about to have offspring. Who wants to watch this? Squeeze, push. Right, about to have offspring means you need to start going. Let's speed this up. Is it because... Don't go and play with a ball. Give birth. Is it now? Squeeze. Push. Call me an idiot. Do they? I don't think they actually give birth. They lay eggs, don't they? So, I mean, this is all a lie. They completely lied to me. And yeah, we did breed, so that's good news. That gave us some money. We also done some more vet research whilst that was fake giving birth, which is nice. And yeah, on the whole, I'm pretty pleased with how we've got on today. Even though no one's actually given birth today. So that's the episode. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you do enjoy or have enjoyed it, or at some point just gone, oh yeah, that's interesting, then don't forget to like, share and subscribe. If you want to support a local channel, you can hit the donation button below. And as always, I will catch you all on the flippity flip.